The number one question I get from men again and again is, how do I get her back? Well, first thing you got to understand, if you want to get her back, how did you lose her? What happened? Are you a loser? Or is it you just don't understand women? If you're a loser, forget it. I don't have an answer for you. But if you just don't understand women, then I've got the answer. You really need to reflect on everything you said and did and recognize that most of it was wrong. Men have the best intentions, and yet we miss out because we don't understand women. Because if you lost her and you want her back, that means you love her and you care about her, but somehow you failed in communicating that to her. How did you do it? And you're probably feeling, I don't know. Or you know what you did. You cheated on her. You yelled at her. You ignored her. You broke up with her, and now you want to get back to her. Maybe that's what you did. But still, how do you open her up again? And why did you do that stuff? Already the relationship was challenged, not because of her. She has her own issues for sure, but you got to look at this thing from the point of view of 100% accountability. If you want to open her heart up again, and this is how I work with men whose wives want to divorce them. It could be a girlfriend who wants to end the relationship. What went wrong? Or when she says those dreaded words, I just want to be friends. Why does she want to be friends? Well, sometimes you're just not the guy for her. But quite often, you haven't expressed the guy for her, that part of you that truly loves her and knows she's the one for you. And you've got to give her reassurance to let her know that. Because she doesn't know, you've got to let her know. And how do you let her know? How do you rebuild trust if there's been some big upset? You have to come at this with 100% accountability. Like, I see how I contributed to this problem, and I now understand it, and I recognize it, and I'm going to make the changes necessary to make it up to you, because now I know how to give you the support you deserve, and I didn't know before. That's the only excuse women will have. If you can, they'll only hear that one. You can make all the excuses in the words, bunch of words. But if you can point out to her, I now recognize I reacted this way. I said this. I thought this. And I was wrong. And why do I know I'm wrong? Because I read this book, Men Are From Mars. You've got to go to an authority outside yourself and say, you know, I learned from somebody else. Because, see, she already knows you don't know what you're doing. So you have to go to somebody that she believes does know what they're doing, somebody to coach you and guide you to understand your mistakes. So what you do is you make a list of all the new insights that you've gained. The more you've learned, the more she's willing to trust you again. The more you recognize what I did was wrong. But you see, it's not just I yelled at you, although that would be clearly a big mistake. But more than that, it's got to be new insight that will help you not to yell at her, get angry at her, argue with her, cheat on her, neglect her, wait till the last minute to take her out on dates. All the little things that you did when you were dating in the beginning are the things you have to do again. So that's one of the insights you'll gain that you'll point out to her. I didn't know the little things make a difference. I got lazy and I didn't give you what you needed. Ultimately, you want to go through the book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, underline your mistakes that you've made. Don't underline her mistakes. Show her that. Take notes. Show her the notes that you have learned. I realize this is a mistake I've made. Then you go to her, or you write to her if she doesn't want to talk to you anymore. And you say basically, look, I'm devastated. I realize I blew it. I made the biggest mistake of my life in ending this or doing this, which caused you to want to end this relationship. I now realize how I have sabotaged this relationship. And I want to learn from this. I want to grow from this. I want to have a really loving relationship in my future. And I'd love to have it with you. But if it's not going to be with you, I'd love for us to end in a beautiful way where I can truly apologize for my mistakes. Now, I know you're a little afraid of saying I want to move on even without you, but she's got to know that you're not desperate, you're not needy, but that you want to grow from this experience. And of course, if you know you could grow from it and she would wanted to try again, you'd be certainly open to that. But most importantly, you want to be able to acknowledge your mistakes and apologize to her, one. Two is you want her to check over your insights and realizations so you can really understand what your mistakes were, so you can grow and learn from that, so that the woman in your future won't have to experience the same heartache that she had to go through. Wow, that is such an impressive thing to a woman. And already she's going, gee, some other woman's going to get you and I'm not. Because see, what can help open her heart is the understanding of a man taking responsibility. Because when women experience the ending of a relationship, they internalize it. They feel that it was all my fault. I should have been better. I should have done better. And then their mind comes and says, but you did everything you could and it was his fault. It's his fault. If she stops saying it's your fault, then she has to feel like it's her fault. So her need to end the relationship is to blame it on you. If you take that blame, if you understand how you contributed to the problem, then it frees her to let go of holding on to the blame and looking at maybe some of the things that she might have done to make the relationship, but without feeling guilty about it, because you're the one who's holding that sense of responsibility and wanting to grow. Women love to see men grow. Women love to see a man who's interested in improving. And you'll learn what those little things are. It could be 100 different things. I can't tell you, just from you're listening to this talk, all the mistakes you've made, but I'll outline a few. You started out and you were doing little things. Then once you got closer, you stopped doing the little things. You wait till Friday night and say, hey, what do you want to do tonight? As opposed to plan it a week in advance. You stop saying I love you because you already said it. Why say it again? You stop showing affection. You stop doing the little things. You stop bringing her flowers. You stop giving her hugs. After a while, she walked in the room. You didn't get excited and say, hi, how are you? You stop having that same newness feeling that you had in the beginning. You got to continue doing those little things. Then when you had conversations, you'd be interrupting her. And she'd say, you're not listening, you're not listening. You'd say, yes, I am listening. Then you'd offer her solutions. And she'd say, yes, but. You'd get in arguments. She'd start to feel hurt, say things like, I don't feel you loved me. And then you go, what are you talking about? Of course I love you. You'd be in another argument. What you didn't realize that all those responses that you made only make it worse. And you're over here thinking it's going to work better. And you'll recognize the little ways that you unknowingly undid your relationship. Now, if you've done big things, like had an affair, betrayed her, broken her heart, you have to learn to rebuild the trust. You have to learn to be able to listen to what her feelings are. You have to be gently persistent, and you have to be coming back in present time. Don't try to explain away what you did. You've got to show her now with your actions and your deeds, and you lean into it, and you will rebuild that trust. You will get the forgiveness that she needs to find in her heart. But first of all, you've got to do this same issue as looking at all the mistakes besides just the affair. You have to look at a whole remake of yourself. You say to her, you know what? Since we broke up, I realize I feel like I have been so awful, and I've done this, and I've done this investigation. I've taken this course because I want to make sure I find love in my life again, and if I can have another chance with you, that's what I want. However, if I move on, I want you to know it was my fault, not yours, and I want to understand all the details of how I could have been better so I can make sure in the future I can be that better person. Wow. When a woman hears that, she hears a man who's being accountable, responsible, wise, intelligent, non-defensive, and then you're going to prove it to her. She's going to test you. There'll be a testing period. And during that testing period, you suck up your gut and you don't get mad, you don't get defensive. You practice my techniques of learning how to listen to her in a way that helps her feel safer and safer. This is all within your fingertips, right within your reach. You just have to learn how to do this, and you can bring her back. You can win that woman over. You can find the love of your life and make sure that you have a lifetime of love and feel like her hero.